Like any gardener, I find the end of January both an exciting time because of the promise of what's to come in the months ahead, but also incredibly frustrating because there's so much cutting back and chopping down to be done. And really that's best left for another 6 to 8 weeks really, until the worst of the winter weather is over. And if the next 10 days is anything to go by according to the forecast, we could see a return to some really cold air coming down from the northeast, probably by next weekend, that could damage our plants if we cut them back too early. But there's still plenty to be getting on with in the garden, so here's a roundup of what you should be getting on with. For me, one of the most important things to be doing at this time of year is going around the climbing plants on my walls, fences and on the side of my house, and making sure that all the ties are secure, perhaps cutting back any damaged stems, not too hard, but just cutting them back lightly where any damage has occurred, and then tying those stems back into the wall nice and securely in case there's any more damaging winds to come over the next few months. And what better way to look forward to the summer than by sowing some sweet pea seeds at this time of year. I like to use these Rootrainers, which direct the germinating roots down into the compost so that when you come to plant them out, the plants re-establish themselves much quicker in the open ground. But you could also use the centres of toilet rolls or even just plain flower pots. Sow 2 seeds in each of these cellular units so that you can keep the strongest seedling. Keep them on a well-lit windowsill indoors and they'll germinate in under a week, and that will give you hope for the summer. And last but not least, if you do need to flex those secateurs, then prune something hardy like apples and pears. They really benefit from being cut back at this time of year, before growth starts in spring. Thin out some of the really heavily congested shoots so that you leave the strongest ones that will go on to produce fruit spurs in following years. And remember, don't cut back too hard at this time of year, because if you do, you'll only encourage more regrowth. And if you check out my gardening website, davidhurrian.com, you'll find plenty more jobs to do in the garden. And don't forget, while you're at it, on YouTube, subscribe to my gardening channel.